What is your American dream?
My dream for America is to be loving towards each other. I know it's corny and cliched, but really just look at each other with love and compassion.
America needs to become a place for everyone. It needs to become inclusive. It needs to become a place where every human being is respected, where we do not work to dehumanize, we do not work to exclude, see the value in each of us. I mean, we all are immigrants. We all bring our unique perspectives and abilities, and I can't imagine an America without that.
My dream for America is to be able to be the beacon that it says it should be, a place where we can all live in dignity. We need to be able to protect families and children, have universal health care, universal school. So this is my vision of America.
Everyone has a right to the American dream.
Groundhog Sam! Oh, hello everybody! Happy Monday! I hope you had a great weekend. I sure did. But now I'm just sitting here watching one of the shows and I realized what a bad mood I was in the day that Brad asked me to read the disclaimer in the credits at the end of the show. And I really shouldn't have been like that. I mean, I do such a great job with the intro. I would assume I would do a wonderful job with the outro too. I'm going to try to practice. And then maybe I could do it today and then Brad would be so pleasantly surprised. Okay, let's see if I can do it. What the heck is that word? The I don't know it. Proceeding was information only and not specific legal advice. Consult an attorney about your individual situation. Prior results are only successful. Oh, that's not it. Prior successful. I don't know how to say it all. Easy to remember. 1-800-LAW-LINK. I know that. That's 1-800-LAW-LINK. 1-800-LAW-LINK. Once again, make a call to 1-800-529-5465. And of course, link up with the law offices Spar and Bernstein like I did. Oh yeah, and we have a place in Hartford, Connecticut too on 1 Congress Street. So you can visit Spar and Bernstein in Connecticut or in New York at 225 Broadway. Don't forget, that's 1-800-529-5465. LAW-LINK, 1-800-LAW-LINK. Yay! I don't know if I did such a great job. It's not quite as professional as Brad would want, I'm afraid. I think I'm just going to stick to the intro. Anyway, did you miss Friday's episode of Brad Show Live? Well, in case you did, Brad answered tons and tons and tons of legal immigration questions. And then Miami field correspondent Anna Ascona discussed how even though the government shutdown is now over, since it began December 22nd, 40,000 immigration court hearings were canceled and now have to be rescheduled because of the shutdown. God, what a mess. Anyway, now's the time you've all been waiting for. It's time for Brad Show Live, starring Brad Bernstein with co-host Belgium Kim Moore. Enjoy. All right, so I'm not going to do the disclaimer. Now I know I was grumpy. It was just too hard for me. I'm just a groundhog.
Welcome, everybody. July 29th. My voice is back. I was like talking like this yesterday. It was hurting. My throat was hurting me.
Yeah.
And then Jilly, we were just laughing. You probably heard us. Yeah. Because I didn't know our mics were on.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, we're sitting here for a few minutes. We're actually on time. Congratulations to us.
Go us.
And then I'm like, all right, I got to wake up, you know, and I go, you know, just joking around with Kim. And I guess you heard me slapping myself in the face to wake me up. Belgium Kim, how are you?
I'm doing well.
Belgium Kim.
Yeah.
Squat up.
Squat up, Brad.
Squat up, Belgium Kim.
Squat up.
And let me say hello. You look very nice today.
Thank
Thank you.
Are you wearing Jonathan's jacket?
Oh, no, we have the same one.
You
See,
have
I
the
told
same
you
one?
we didn't coordinate. We
You
have the same one. Yeah.
Okay, so Jonathan is on location somewhere.
Somewhere
In this world.
Right.
He was supposed to be in Chicago, but then I think he was in LA. I saw on Instagram.
Listen, where in the world is Jonathan Elliott?
I
This
don't
is
know.
not a game you want to play,
I do
Brad.
not
We'll
know. I
lose.
do not know. And by the way, Groundhog Sam, I actually thought the intro was pretty good today. It made me chuckle. It was good.
thought so
Groundhog
too.
Sam said he or she
was
just not happy with the way that he did the intro or she did the intro today.
Right.
And I thought it was okay.
I think he did his best. I think Groundhog Sam did his best at reading the disclaimer. And
I think it was okay. What do you think, squad? Let me say hello to Tamika Nelson. Hey, y'all. Abigail Taylor Watson, Demba Sow, Noe Solorio. Is that a person new?
That does.
That
is a person new.
It is a person new with the cool glasses.
With the
very cool glasses, Noe Solorio.
Oh man,
The emoji glasses, with that's what I'm looking at. Dionne Watson, how are you? Mia Montag, Willie Williams, Jessica Leamy, Joelle, and I said Demba Sal already. Lisa Bling Rose in Capital. Hi, Uncle Brad. Hope you're doing well. Squad up. I am. Thank you very much. Abigail Taylor Watson, Dionne Watson. Tamika Nelson says Lisa Hart. And Lolith Black, glad you're feeling better, Uncle Brad. Where's Uncle Brad coming from? Why my Uncle Brad?
I think Carol Anderson the Tiger started Uncle Brad, and now it's just kind of become a thing.
It's like, what was there like a character from like Rice-A-Roni that was like Uncle something or other? Like the Rice-A-Roni guy was an Uncle something?
Uncle Ben?
Uncle Ben?
Are you thinking about Uncle Ben?
Maybe.
That's a whole brand of rice.
That's a brand of rice.
That's a whole is Uncle Ben.
I don't know. That's what I think of when I hear it. I
like
don't know.
orange box.
Yeah, like an orange box. I'm in suspenders and I'm Uncle Ben. I don't know why.
No.
Who else have I got here? Dane C. Welcome says, good evening, Brad. Dionne Watson, I think I said his already. And Jasmine McDonald says, you guys were truly missed. Welcome back. Carol Anderson, the Tiger, saying hello to Tamika, Squad, and everybody. Abigail Taylor Watson. You, Musafir. And he's just saying hello to Shaker Khan Shinori.
Ooh, I do appreciate that he's tagging people, though.
He's tagging people.
Like,
Thank you very
buddy.
much. Thank you very much. Tamika says, no yelling, Brad. I only do that behind the scenes. I don't do that on camera yelling. I just yell at people after the show and before the show. No. But I don't do it during the show.
They're saying for your voice, not for your disciplinarianism.
I just thought it was just for my anger issues. I don't know. Rob J. Roberts, how are you? I knew what they were talking about. And Noe Solario says, hello, Brad. By the way, Abigail Taylor Watson giving me some good advice.
Yeah.
Take time, talk, Brad. Not so loud, okay? We don't want to lose you again tomorrow.
She's right.
She is very right.
Yeah.
And Ruthie Cutie on YouTube saying hello. Back it up, rookie. Back it up, rookie. I'm calling him now.
Right now, it's a whole different every day.
Total different. Back it up, rookie. What's going on? And Princess Black, Lucian Girl, Zoanne Powell saying good evening. Batter Will saying hello. Fancy Cat.
Ooh, we love us some Fancy Cat.
Saying, hola, guys. Meow. How's the team doing? No, she didn't say meow. How's the team doing today? And who else we got? Jamie Grant says, good night and squad up. Does mandamus action apply to cases outside the United States? It depends. It could. I would need to know a little more. Yulette Wilson says, hey, Brad and Kimberly. And the reason is, and we're going to have... Abadir on shortly.
Yeah.
Because Abadir sues the government all day long for
all
us.
day long.
And he's going to come on shortly and discuss it. But as long as you have standing in the United States of America, meaning that you can sue the government for something that happened outside of the United States as long as you have standing in the United States. So, for example, and I'll give you these two examples because I'm going to answer the question right now. Okay. If you have applied for a visitor's visa, there is no petitioner. It's just you in another country applying.
Okay.
You are not in the United States. You have no standing.
Okay.
Okay. So they can take forever. Mandamus is to force them to make a government decision.
Right. Okay.
Okay. So they apply. You apply for a visitor's visa. They make no decision. I don't know why. It's a year later. They don't tell you yes. They don't tell you no. And you're just sitting there.
Right.
There's nothing you can do. You're outside the United States. You're not a citizen of the United States. There's nothing you can do.
Okay.
Now, you have a U.S. citizen spouse who applies for you, and you get a case pending at the embassy forever. You do not file the mandamus, but the petitioning spouse in the United States can. Aha! Aha!
So there is still a way.
Yes, and Carol Anderson, sorry, she's not Carol Anderson here. She's Carol the Top Cat Tigress 2 Anderson.
Yeah.
Saying hello. Ryu Cage, R-Y-U, is that my pronouncing it right?
Ryu, yeah.
Kim's hair looks great today.
That's right.
I took the comment of the day away from you, Kim.
No, that was not going to be a comment of the day.
I thought you were going to say it's going to be a comment of the day anyway. You could say it several times.
Oh.
It's still comment of the day.
We will keep talking about how
Yes.
good Kim's hair
I am
looks
telling
today.
I am
all
telling
day.
you, like every 30 minutes, I'm gonna bring that up, and it's still gonna be.
That's A-okay,
It's
Brad.
still gonna be. And the comment of the day is, Kim, your hair looks fabulous.
Kim's hair looks fantastic.
Kim's hair looks fantastic. All right.
Awesome.
With that said, before we go into our schmoozing, I do want to remind everybody to please share with your friends and family. We make a joke. You shouldn't share. You should sit on your hand. Don't do nothing. But today, really kind of share. We're not going to give away anything. We until we start seeing some sharing, we ain't giving away anything anymore.
That's right.
If we see sharing, we're just going to surprise you and give
That's
away
right.
something. It's going to be a surprise.
That's right.
It's better to be surprised.
It is.
Right?
Like at the end of the show one day, we'll be like, oh my God, you
Look
guys
how many shares
shared
we have.
800 times.
That's right. I'll give out a surprise to everybody.
You'll give out a surprise.
And with that, let's get into a little schmoozing, Belgium Kim. So this I saw on the news today, and it was TMZ's reporting that, and I hope I'm pronouncing his name right, Jussie Smollett. Smollett.
Yes.
Excuse me, Jussie Smollett. He is an actor on the hit television show Empire.
Yes.
He plays a homosexual character. He's actually a homosexual in real life as well. And apparently he was approached by two masked people in Chicago this morning, yelling out racial and homophobic slurs towards him, and then they beat him up, put a noose around his head, and then poured some unknown chemical on him.
Yep.
And he is now hospitalized. We hope he's feeling better soon. It's a horrible, horrible thing.
Terrible.
If in fact, all of this, there's no reason not to believe any of this is true.
Yeah.
This is what the police are reporting happened. He is in the hospital right now. This is not some sort of publicity thing. And it's a terrible, terrible thing what's going on in the United States of America. We've heard absolutely nothing from Donald Trump, who has really started this entire thing. He has let these people out of their basements, out of their cages, and into society and saying it's okay to do these things. Because I will tell you, during the years of Obama, I mean, yes, there was always incidences, but it was never okay to do it.
Yeah.
Okay? We don't hear anything right now. We don't hear anything. According to the thatgrapejuice.net, I don't know who they are, but apparently they are a website.
They're a website.
Yes. They reported that Smollett received a threatening letter days before the incident that said, "You will die, black fag."
Oh.
So somebody was targeting this guy. Somebody was targeting him. Somebody who knew him or a crazed fan.
Right.
One or the other. We don't know.
It's so hard to stomach that things like this still happen in 2019.
Yeah, terrible. Well, we wish him hopefully a good recovery. I hope, more importantly, the police catch him.
Absolutely.
And I hope our politicians and our leaders denounce this, like we are.
Yes.
It's terrible. It shouldn't
Absolutely.
happen. What else is happening in the news here?
I don't know.
The National Week of Action to End Southeast Asian Deportations began Saturday on January 19th. Trump administration is deporting a lot of Vietnamese who came to the United States and had a deportable offense from prior to 1995, and now Vietnam is accepting them back. There is a National Week of Action to end this. Nobody is reporting it except me.
That's insane.
Okay, 13 organizations across the country uniting 15 cities to uplift Southeast Asian American communities from having all of these people deported by the Trump administration, but we don't see it anywhere on the news.
No,
I don't know
not
why.
at all.
Nobody seems to care.
That's
There are 16,000 Southeast Asians with permanent U.S. residence who are going to be deported and leave the country in the next few weeks.
That's enormous.
16,000 green card holders.
That's enormous.
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
Despite Donald Trump's ceaseless railing against the Latino population,
Right.
it is the
exactly.
Southeast Asian American community which has the largest refugee community in the United States of America.
Wow.
Because it's all from Vietnam and Cambodia from the Vietnam War.
Right.
Did you see on the, we've talked about this, that the housekeepers who would make Donald Trump's bed day after day at the Bedminster Golf Course, Trump National Golf Course in New Jersey,
Yes.
while he was running for president and denouncing Mexicans as rapists, while he became president and said he wants to build a wall and keep Mexicans out, and we don't want illegals working in the United States. Everybody working at this country club was, in fact, illegal.
Of course.
The people making Donald Trump's bed
Of course.
were illegal. So now a dozen immigrant workers at one of Donald Trump's golf courses, this is the one in Bedminster, New Jersey, at New York, at Trump National Golf Club in Westchester, have all been fired and are all now subject to deportation.
Wow.
Yes. In the hypocrite news, because we always have a hypocritical news.
Right, always.
Always. Melania Trump has declared on Friday that we should still keep fighting for children's well-being everywhere.
Oh, I'm sure she has.
Melania Trump tweeted, "Our work in the East Wing continues for 2019 with online safety, fighting opiate abuse, and supporting the well-being of children everywhere." I wonder if we have any photos of some of the children that she wants that be well, who are sitting in cages right now.
Yeah.
Thank you to your husband, Melania.
Right.
Instead of tweeting, why don't you go over in the bedroom and slap him in the face really hard with a frying pan that you've never picked up in your life.
That you wouldn't know what to do with.
You wouldn't know what to do with it. I'm telling you what to do with it. You slap him in the face with the frying pan. That's exactly what you do.
A cast iron skillet,
That's
Melania.
Right. Okay, Melania, just in the last couple of weeks, 2 young children died in these detention facilities. We talked about it last week. Jacqueline Kale and Felipe Gomez Alonso, both children from Guatemala, put in cages and died there. But keep tweeting about the well-being of children. Some of the comments, some of the comments on Twitter, because I do have some of the comments here. I was going to move on, but now I'm reading the comments and I like them.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Say Nene says, help the children except for the brown ones at the border, right? Those we cage. #BeBest.
Exactly.
George the Tyrant. Oh, and by the way, there seems to be thousands of kids at the border your husband put in camps. Check on their well-being too. Trick Carroll says, locking them up in cages is how you support the well-being of children. You should consider a new platform.
Yes, you should.
JGM Will says, please give 3 examples of what work you've done. I'm still waiting. And L. Gray 1974 says, that's how I always fight an opioid crisis, wearing designer clothes in a model pose. I've cured many with that approach.
Yeah, just look at her in that picture, just truly curing the world.
Yeah. So, and finally, remember Kalief Browder?
Yes.
All right, he was the 16-year-old sophomore in New York City who was accused of stealing a backpack. He was arrested. He was later charged with second-degree robbery. Eventually, the charges in 2013 were dropped.
Right.
And he had just turned 22, and he hung himself and killed himself in 2015. Very likely because of everything that he went through and the publicity and everything else. We don't know. Nobody knows really what went through his head.
Right,
but
of
we
course.
did know that he went through a terrible situation of being falsely accused and jailed, and later turned out was not him. So, and getting beat up in jail and going through that entire situation.
And he spent an incredible amount of time in solitary confinement.
Yes, and he killed himself in 2015. The family filed a lawsuit against the city of New York, and at Rikers he tried to commit suicide 6 times. Browder spent long stretches of time in solitary confinement, just like you said, at Rikers. Just months after he was released, he described the physical and emotional abuse he suffered there. During an interview, he missed his sister's wedding, the birth of his nephew, his prom, his graduation, and he was absolutely innocent.
Oh my God.
And he then hung himself and killed himself. The family just settled for $3.3 million. Ain't worth it.
He missed
They missed his whole life.
Yeah.
You can't put a.
When you hear things like he missed his prom, it's like the kids who are going to prom these aren't the concerns that they should be having.
Now, prior to him committing suicide, he told Headline News that prior to going to jail, I never had any mental illnesses. I never tried to hurt myself. I never tried to kill myself. I never had any thoughts like that. I had stressful times prior to going to jail, but not like during jail. That was the worst experience that I ever went through in my whole life.
Oh my God.
Rest in peace. And the family hopefully will do some good with that money that they got.
Find a little closure.
All right, let's see what else is happening here. Do we have people on hold? Okay, we got 2 people on hold. Ricardo and some unknown human being.
There was a question mark at the end.
Ricardo, an unknown human being on hold. So please call right now, 1-800-529-5465, because we're going to be taking your immigration questions right now. Why not? Why not?
Why not?
It's something we like to call getting answers to your immigration questions. Call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Call right now. Let's go to Ricardo in Brooklyn. Ricardo.
Yes, sir. Good evening.
How are you?
I'm not bad. What I wanted to know, I submitted project packet.
You got it. Are you talking with a cloth over your phone, or you need to step?
No.
You need to step to the right or left a little bit because you're coming in like muffled.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I was
You
making
hear
a
me
joke.
now?
I know you didn't have a cloth over your phone. I was just making a joke. Okay. All right. Let's try
All right.
now. Okay. Go again.
All right. Yes, I was saying that
Now
I
here.
submitted a I-485 for adjustment of status in May, which I did get some response saying that my case is ready to schedule for an interview. So what I wanted to know, what's the processing time these days?
12 to 24 months. Now, we get that question a lot because on the immigration website, they really screw with people. All right, because you file something and then like 2 or 3 months later, you see cases ready to be scheduled for an interview. So a rational, logical person would say, ready to be scheduled for an interview, that means I'm going to get my interview very shortly. But that's not how immigration is not rational or logical. They say, okay, it's ready to be scheduled, but maybe it'll be scheduled in a year from now or in a year and a half from now. Their processing time is 12, 24 months out. So when they say ready to be scheduled, that means that they did a preliminary look at your file and everything is fine. That's what that means.
Yep. Yeah, because sometimes, like when I recently, like I went on the website and I was seeing like the estimated time, like 18.5 months to 30-something months. I was wondering if that applied to me or
it does.
Doesn't apply to
it does
me.
apply to you. It does.
Oh, so it's 18.
Yeah.
Oh, but you tell me 12 to 24.
I say 18 to 24 months.
Oh, okay.
The 36,
okay.
the ones that are going to be longer are the ones. I don't. You don't sound like the name Ricardo does not sound like it comes from an Islamic country, but maybe you do. I have no idea. But the ones that are going to be longer are the ones that come from the Islamic countries that are on. That.
Oh, I'm from Jamaica.
Yeah,
I'm from Jamaica.
I didn't think you were, but so I think you're going to be closer to the 18 to 24 months.
So what I wanted to know, even all right. So for instance, this year update next week, that does apply. It doesn't matter like from when you submit. Because it started a particular, when I submitted and everything was good, it was like 12. But when I go on it like a couple weeks after I realized
it's Donald Trump. He slows everything down, okay? And so what you got to live your life. Hopefully you got your work permit. Hopefully you have your travel.
I don't get it as yet. I don't.
Okay,
I don't get it as yet.
Hopefully you will get it soon and you'll get your travel documents so you'll have your benefits, but you just got to hang in there.
Okay. And one thing I wanted to know, like how soon you get your work permit?
About 5 months in.
Oh, okay. All right. Thanks.
You're welcome. All right, let's go to Marley in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Marley.
Hi, good evening. My name is Marley. I was calling just to ask a question. I'm about to get married. My spouse and I live in his grandmother's apartment. What other evidence would I need to take to the interview to prove that our marriage is not a sham?
Well, you live with your grandmother, so the grandmother. So any mail? I'm sure you get mail. I'm sure you get bills addressed to you. You still have, even though you live under grandma's roof, you have a bank account. You have credit cards. You have junk mail that comes in your name. You're going to do your bank account together. You're going to have your taxes together. You're going to have photos together. The most important thing right now is get married and file your paperwork. The documents that you're going to need to bring to an interview are 18, 24 months from now.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
Hang in there. All right? If you need help, hold on. Let's go to John in Tallahassee, Florida. John.
Yeah.
Well, why did John go off? What happened there, Belgium Kim?
I wouldn't know, Brad.
Who would put John on hold after I said, hello, John, how are you?
Groundhog Sam.
Why would Groundhog Sam do that?
When in doubt, blame Groundhog Sam.
You think it's Sam?
That's always my motto,
All
Brad.
right, can somebody go see what happened to John and why he got put on hold as soon as I started saying hello to him? Luna in Brooklyn, New York.
Hello, hi.
Hi, Luna, how are you?
Bad. I'm good.
What's going on?
Okay, my question is this. I overstayed my visa a few years ago, and I'm in the process of adjusting my status. I already received my work permit and my Social Security card. However, before that, I was already working, and I worked as an independent contractor. So this year, since I now have my paperwork, we're going to be filing taxes. However, since I was an independent contractor, I have to pay taxes, right? But my husband doesn't. He would most likely get a return. However, I wanted to know if we do need to still submit the taxes together or submit married separately.
You're going to file a joint tax return because you have to show that you have an economic relationship together. And if you're an independent contractor, then you earned all your income and you got to pay your taxes at the end of the year or quarterly, versus your husband who gets his taxes taken out of his paycheck each week. Either way, you're paying the same taxes. Okay, so basically, joint tax return. That's how it works.
So we can do it.
You can do it any way you want, but if you'd like to get a green card, you do a joint tax return.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Got it? How's that for an answer? Okay? All right.
Love
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Let's try now back to John from Tallahassee. John, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good.
Good. What happened to you? Did you get put on hold or we did that?
Yes.
We don't know.
I have a problem where I've gotten a denial letter and I did not get an interview letter.
You got a denial letter and did not get an interview letter. That's because you screwed up, John. All right, you did the paperwork wrong. You didn't submit the documents properly. You screwed up.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No, I've gotten every single letter. I've gotten every single letter that the immigration department have sent me. I've just recently received my work permit that was in December, and I recently received also the denial letter. So if they had sent me that letter,
what does the denial letter say?
It said that abandonment. I mean, I don't show up for the interview.
Okay, well then that's what happened. You didn't show up to the interview. Maybe they scheduled it and you didn't get the mail. Maybe the mailman didn't bring it in. But I would generally say when you get denied and you don't get an interview, it's because you screwed up somehow. Now you say you did everything perfectly. Maybe you did. I have no idea. Okay, but certainly you didn't do everything perfectly because you got denied. So you're going to need help. So hold on 1 second and we'll figure it out. All right. Belgium Kim.
Yeah.
I think we have answered every immigration question known to mankind.
Every single one known to man?
Every last one known to mankind.
I kind of don't believe that, Brad.
I believe it. Believe it.
I just don't.
I believe it.
What?
Because right now we have nobody on hold. Nobody wants to talk to us anymore.
What?
So what I would like to do is yesterday,
Yeah.
Remember we talked about Ravi Ragbir. He was
Yes.
53 years old. He became one of the most famous immigrant activists in the United States. Now, Ragbir entered the United States on a temporary visa in 1991 from Trinidad. And he married his first wife, had a daughter, worked at a mortgage company. He obtained permanent residency through his marriage. Though he maintains he did not commit any crimes, Ravi was convicted of wire fraud in 2000 for processing fraudulent loan applications. I guess as a mortgage broker.
Right.
After he served his sentence, Mr. Ragbir was ordered deported in 2006 and detained by immigration officers. He spent 2 years in immigration detention facility where he appealed his judgment of deportation. Eventually, he was released on the condition that he abide by a curfew, wear an ankle bracelet, and check in with ICE 3 times a week. Now, Ragbir reinvented himself as an immigration advocate and eventually became the executive director of the New Sanctuary Coalition, an interfaith network of congregations and organizers working to protect immigrant families from detention and deportation. Through his work, he met his present wife, an immigration lawyer and a U.S. citizen, and they married in 2010. Not done yet. In 2011, President Obama issued 2 memos clarifying prosecutorial discretion, which made nonviolent offenders like Ragbir a low priority for detention. But when President Donald Trump was elected, he quickly issued an executive order telling ICE to prioritize deporting undocumented immigrants or immigrants who were lawful residents who had minor criminal offenses and convicted of crimes. Last January 2018, Ragbir was detained again by immigration for deportation during a standard check-in. He spent nearly 2 weeks in a detention center in Miami, and his deportation to Trinidad seemed imminent until a federal judge ruled that Ragbir's detention was unnecessarily cruel and released him. Yesterday, on January 28th, about a year after being released from immigration custody, Ravi went to ICE headquarters to check in. That's what has to happen every year.
Right.
It's like almost like a check-in with a probation officer.
Okay.
And where he was surrounded by local politicians, religious leaders, friends, and family to support him. And now we're going to watch to see what happened to Ravi Ragbir.
Today is hard. It is not hard because I have to go in, but it is hard because of what happened last year. I am still suffering with that anxiety, that PTSD that you all felt. I was in a van being taken away and it affected me. And this is what they want to do. They want to break our spirit. How could you live with yourself when you are trying to take away water from people who are dying of thirst? That is inhumane. Migration is a natural process, people. Yet we want to destroy people who are just trying to find safety and security. Everyone here are standing together to say that this immigration policy has to end. 60% of the New York City is immigrant based. That is the city itself. So there's nothing here that they can say to justify anyone being deported. I am human because of who I am. I am human because of you. I am human because we are all humans. So thank you. And I thank you for standing with me.
This is about racism and bigotry. If you cannot call it out, you are part of the problem.
We need to humanize our experiences and who we are in this country.
We are a nation built and for immigrants, and we will stand for Ravi today as we stand for all undocumented brothers and sisters that contribute with billions of dollars to this economy.
Ravi, 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 Ravi.
Consistency of being watchful eyes over the injustices that are being inflicted is what has led, right, to his release today. At one point, the Congresswoman came out and said that she had spoken to a supervisor.
That's right.
And that the supervisor had said that Amy, as the wife, and us as elected officials could go into the waiting room. One of the officers said, doesn't matter what the Congresswoman said, you can't come in. This is what we're living. And this is being perpetuated across communities across this nation.
We are here.
We are here.
Because we believe.
Because we believe.
Every human deserves humanity.
It's a very bittersweet moment. You're happy. Certainly didn't want him to be taken away, didn't want anything to happen to his family. But to see that this just continues, it's been going on for 10 years, that he has to come back in 6 months, and is really inflicting undue trauma not only on him, but you just think about the thousands of folks who are going through this and just the trauma that it inflicts on them and the stress and the tension, just kind of unimaginable.
I have two stays from the court, the district court in New Jersey and the Second Circuit here in New York. So they could not deport me. It was very confusing why they wanted me to check in. We were not sure what was going to happen. Today we had many supporters not only coming here to support me, but doing the Jericho walk while we were waiting. Because of everyone's presence, I have 6 months before I have to report in. Normally, it used to be a year before every check-in. So we are all confused on why the change. And we are going to find out more in the later few days of that change. So it is gratifying that we am able to come back out right now.
Every single person here has roots in immigration. We actually literally all are immigrants, and we stand with immigrants today.
Right. So I'll tell you why the change, because I was just watching this for the first time.
Right.
Because they're screwing with immigration. Immigration says we're going to screw you back.
Right.
That's why. It's very simple.
Yeah.
You poke us in the eye, I'm going to poke you back. You come every 6 months now. That's how it works, unfortunately. Let's go to Sam in Atlanta, Georgia. Sam?
Hey, hi, Bert.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. Just a quick question. When VAWA is approved, how long does it take to get your 10 years green card?
How long from the time you file the adjustment? I'm not sure following your question.
When VAWA is approved,
what do you mean
how
when it's
long
approved?
does it? Yeah.
What do you mean if it's approved?
On your VAWA case is approved, how long does it take to get the green card?
I can't.
When you have a pending VAWA
I
petition
can't answer you. So you're asking, you filed an I-360. Because when you say my VAWA got approved, it doesn't mean anything to me. Okay? So let me ask you a specific question. You filed an I-360 visa petition under VAWA, it got approved, and now you would like to get a green card. Until you file an adjustment application, you're not getting a green card. And you got to file an adjustment, and then it's another 18 to 24 months, assuming that the abuse was based from a U.S. citizen.
No, I filed an I-485 before filing the VAWA.
No, what you did was you filed an I-485 and a VAWA at the same time. And you said your VAWA got approved, but the adjustment is still pending. Is that what's happening?
No. My spouse and I, before the abuse came about, we filed an I-485, and then when she started to abuse it, attitude, and then I filed a VAWA. But my I-485 was still pending before I filed a VAWA.
Okay. So you got your I-360 approved, and now you got to file. You got to wait for the adjustment. Your fingerprints to clear. How long does an adjustment take to approve? Another 12, 18 months, maybe. I don't know. It's going to take some time. Okay. You're asking me. I need a crystal ball for some of these questions.
Magic 8 ball.
Magic 8 ball. Yes. Let's go to Sonia in Brooklyn. Sonia.
Hi.
Hi. How are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
Good. Good. What's going on?
Yeah, I'm good. Two questions I have here for you. My spouse will be getting married. I'll be getting married to my spouse shortly, but he's on disability. How would that affect me from obtaining my green card?
It doesn't, because getting a disability payment is not need-based. It's based on disability. If his disability payments are 125% above the poverty level, then he'll just give an affidavit of support. If it's below, then you would need a second affidavit of support. But the fact that he gets disability does not prevent him from filing for you.
Okay, and another thing, he doesn't pay taxes.
Well, if he has to pay tax, I believe you would have to pay taxes on a disability payment. I'm not a tax expert, so he should go back and file his back taxes.
Okay.
All right. If he's asking the government for a benefit, which is to give you a green card to allow you to live with him, but he has to be able to pay the taxes to the government. He can't say give me, but I won't give anything back. You know.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right, so let him fix his
Okay,
taxes.
another question here, Brad. My son will be 21 in December. If I should put him on the filing, will he get through?
No, because well, let me ask you this question. You can't put him on a filing, but your husband could file for him separately if you got married prior to his 18th birthday. Did you get married prior to his 18th birthday?
He could go on it if he was 18.
My answer to you is if you got married prior to his 18th birthday, your husband can file a separate application.
Okay.
And the answer is, did you get married before his 18th birthday?
No.
No. So he cannot be helped. He needs to find another way. Hold on one second. Let's go to Dane in Queens. Dane.
Hi, good evening. Okay. My question is, how long after you get married do you file?
The next day, while you're waiting. There's no reason to wait. File the next day. Get your papers. It takes a long time. All right? People think they're going to outsmart the government. Well, I'll wait because they're going to think that I just got married for a green card. Well, you obviously want your green card. As long as you live together, it's fine. File the next day.
Okay, that's what I thought initially.
All right.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Let's go to Alu in Euless, Texas. Did I get that right?
Yes, sir.
How are you?
I'm good, and you?
Good. What's going on?
Yeah, I have an unfortunate situation.
What's the unfortunate situation?
Yeah, I'm actually living in an apartment. My name is not on the lease, and my paperwork, there were a couple of mails sent to me and returned to the immigration, and they wrote me a letter for request for evidence that I live there. I don't know what type of proof that I can show them that I live in that place.
What kind of proof can you show that you live there? Well, first of all, put your name on the lease. Second of all, you get mail. Everyone gets mail, okay?
Yes.
Everybody in the world gets a piece of mail where they live. It's almost impossible not to get junk mail these days. So bring in all the bills that you get, all the junk mail that you get, pictures of you, affidavits from people, if you have bank accounts, and I mean, there's a million ways to prove it. Okay, I would need to speak with you to figure it out. But just because your name's not on a lease doesn't mean you don't live there. Hold on one second. Let's go to Suzanne in Fairfield, Connecticut. Suzanne.
Hi, Brad.
Hi.
I wanted to find out if you are unemployed and your husband is filing for taxes. Can you still file with him?
If you're unemployed and your husband's filing for taxes, can you still? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
If you're getting unemployment insurance, you still have to pay taxes on that unemployment insurance. So you should file a joint tax return. So you should file a joint tax return.
No, I don't understand.
Well, maybe I didn't understand your question. Your question was your husband's working, you're collecting unemployment, and you want to know if you should file a joint tax return.
Unemployment.
What was your
I'm
question?
just not working.
Yes, you still file a joint tax return with your husband, even if you don't work.
How do you do that?
You put your name on the tax return. What do you mean? How do you do that? You don't have a Social Security number?
I do.
Okay, so then you put your name on the tax. There's a tax form. It's a 1040. It says your name, spouse's name. Guess what? You've now filed together.
Okay.
Hold on one second. Go to an accountant. Really, that's really what you need to do. All right. With that, Belgium Kim.
With that.
Okay. How do you file a joint tax return, Belgium Kim?
With a joint person,
That's
Brad.
right. That's right. We had a client, Tracy Reed. She was a client here at Spar and Bernstein. And she recently got her green card, which we're very happy about.
Yes.
Now, Tracy shared her immigration journey with us and how she obtained her green card and how we helped her in all aspects of her life, especially as an entrepreneur with her own business. Let's watch.
My name is Tracy Reed. I'm the owner for Lionheart Herbs and Spices. I've been in business for the last 18 years. My parents are from Jamaica. I was born in London, England, and raised in Toronto, Canada. I came to the United States in 1999 to start my own business. When I got here, I was very enthusiastic because I knew New York was already culturally diverse and very strong. Not having a green card posed a lot of different challenges. Even though I came with a lot of ambition and motivation to start my own business, there was a lot of store rentals, but because I didn't have a strong credit history, it was very difficult. I had acquired a tax ID number from the government in which I used to conduct my business. So I came across the store, and at that time the owner agreed to rent me this premises for commercial purposes, and I was very excited. I had my tax ID number. When I got the store in July, everything seemed to be fine, the ideal space. By the first winter, I realized that everything wasn't so great because one day I went to flush the toilet on a cold day in January, and the toilet was frozen as ice. Not only that the toilet wouldn't flush, that the pipe was making a lot and water was coming out all over. So I called him and he was like, oh my gosh, you busted my pipes. Oh my God, this doesn't look like it's gonna work out. Maybe we need to find another location. You just got here. Well, as time went on and every time it got cold, the pipes would bust. I did a lot of repairs even though it was his responsibility because I was trying not to get in too much tension with him or get on his bad side because we were also coming up to our first lease, which was the 3-year lease, and I continued to pay him rent and be in the space, and we went at it all the time because he was not willing to give me any heat and I had to be plugging in heaters. I had to move the store. So my challenge was, how can I get another space and I don't have the proper documents that is required for me to move from there, and I had already established a certain amount of clientele in this space. So not having a green card really kind of hindered me from being able to move forward on that level. I started pursuing immigration lawyers. I spent over $5,000. I continued to pursue figuring who could I trust, what firms were really going to be somebody that's going to really get me results. I needed to be able to be in a better standing situation. I was very intimidated by the judicial system as far as taking him to court to force him to give me plumbing and heating and stuff like that, because they probably would have asked me for a lot of IDs and stuff in order to fill out the court forms. Some of the setbacks was my inability to travel, to be more attentive to my parents in Jamaica, because they were retirees and I'm an only child, so I wasn't able to really go down there and deal with their affairs and make sure they were okay. So many times I had to buy them tickets to come to New York, to come and see me, be able to buy them things and send them back home, see that they were okay, that they would get to see my sons. So then eventually I finally found Spar and Bernstein. Somebody had told me they heard about it on the radio, and so I said, okay, let me go find out what this is all about. I did a consultation and they explained to me how it works. It took some time, but I knew it's something I had to do. In the passage of processing, my mother got very ill, so I couldn't leave automatically. I had to wait, and during the time of waiting, she transcended, so I didn't get a chance to actually see her before she passed, but I was able to travel to go and prepare for her final resting place, and I did that last year. But at present, since then, I got my card. My green card. I'm very grateful to be an American and to have a business in this country for that many years. I didn't realize how rough it could really be for somebody outside of the United States to come here and even be a citizen of international countries and still go through some serious tribulations. And some of the things I went through with my landlord really opened my eyes, because I said, wow, if I'm running a business and I'm going through these struggles, can you imagine people who are just trying to survive in America without a green card and not even having a business but just trying to get a job, or job conditions, working conditions? It must be really triple hard, out there, because I'm working for myself. So, I can't imagine what it would be like for somebody who had to, take a job and be under such severe, abusive conditions. So coming to America has really opened my eyes and it's helped me to be a stronger person. And I'm hoping that I can pursue my dreams as a recording artist and to and a lot of that's in my album. The songs that I write reflect a lot of what I've been through for my years here. Now it seems more reachable because I think I'm able to be more mobile and to travel around, and that people would take me more seriously because I'm able to leave out of the United States and re-enter and go to different parts of the world. My dream is to have my first album as a recording artist completed and out for the world to hear parts of my journey, to inspire and motivate a lot of people that probably could relate to this journey, and to also tell a lot of people, regardless of what the crisis or circumstances and challenges are, stand firm in your faith, and to be consistent and determined. I'm going into my 19th year at my new location at 782 Nostrand Avenue. And I'm truly grateful to still be a part of this neighborhood and this community. And once again, thanks to Spar and Bernstein, who's been very diligently helping me acquire my green card, which I now do have. I'll be able to continue to pursue my ambitions as a recording artist, as a mom, as a store owner, as a community advocate. So, I'm looking forward to putting my album together and just being able to get things on a different level.
All right, let's go to Maureen in Bridgeport, Connecticut. Maureen.
Yes, sir. Good night. I want to ask you, if a woman and a man married in Jamaica, the woman leaves Jamaica, come here and live, they have a child together, and she come here and live and want the man to still take care of the child, like child support. Can that hinder him from get his visa to come here to live as a permanent citizen if he don't pay up those bills, the child support bills?
So she wants him to pay the child support from Jamaica to her in the United States.
Right.
No, there's no such thing that if you don't pay child support, you're in Jamaica. There's nothing. He'll still get a visa if he wants. That's not going to prevent him from getting a visa.
Okay, thank you. And another question.
Yes.
I'm married to my husband in Jamaica for this year will make 16.
Right.
If we live to see November. And I just moved here in August last year. Can I put in for him now or wait till 5 years?
You've been married to him for 16 years and you want to do what now?
November coming will be 16.
Will be 16 years. And what is it that you want to do for him? You want to file for him?
I just reached here in August last year.
I understand. Who sponsored you?
My son.
Your son. How old is your son?
He is over 30.
What's over 30?
Like 33.
33. And you were married to your husband for 16 years. So
but we married after he become 18.
Well, 33 minus 16 is what? Belgium Kim, math?
13.
17.
17.
Right.
Are you sure you married after you turned 18?
When he came here, he was like 16 plus.
Are you sure you married? Are you sure?
We married the same year when he came here in 2003.
Are you sure you married him after? Because the math doesn't add up.
Well, we married in 2003.
And when was your son born?
He born 1985.
95, 2000. Okay, so I guess he was a little over 18 at that point. All right, so the answer is file for your husband now. File the I-130. It'll take about 2.5 years. Don't wait 5 years for you to become a citizen. File now.
Okay, Brad. Thank you
you're
so
very
much.
welcome. You're very welcome. Thank you. Okay, I got confused on the math. I'm like, wait a second, this ain't adding up.
Brad, you know not to ask me math questions.
You are in Lorton, Virginia. You are in Lorton, Virginia.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm good. Yourself?
Good. What's going on?
Yeah, remember I called you last time about my application, about me applying for citizen?
Belgium Kim, do you remember yours question about him applying for citizenship?
Believe it or not, I do remember y'all calling, but I do not remember his case.
You are as memorable as you are. I don't remember anything about you, so tell me all again.
Yeah. So what happened is they sent me a letter, like I did a wrong application, like instead of me filing N600,
I filed N400, so they can tell that I'm already citizen, so I have to file for the N600.
Okay. And the question
my
is?
My question is, with the N600, they're gonna have the evidence of me living with my mom.
They need that, yes.
I don't have that evidence.
Well, you would have to have a, didn't we? I remember this now. You have to have a consultation with me. I don't know I can't pull evidence out of my tuchus. Okay, so we can, you know what tuchus means? My backside. My backside. You can take, okay? You can't pull it out of your backside. Okay? So you lived with your mom. If you lived with your mom prior to 18, you know what you were doing 99%, I'm sure? You went to school. Isn't there a school record that says you lived with your mother?
Okay, so listen, this is it. I came to United States when I was 17. 3 months time,
Did you ever go to school?
I didn't go to school in the United States.
Okay, so we would need to have a consultation and figure out what documentation you would have. So hold on one second, okay? I don't know. I can't. You say I don't have the documentation. Okay, so I don't know what to tell you unless we have a full conversation. So hold on one second. All right. My patience is running today, Kim.
It is.
Patience is running like whoosh.
But I feel like they're testing you today,
Testing
Brad.
me. Testing my patience.
Testing you a little bit.
Testing my patience.
Like, hey, we didn't get our immigration answers yesterday. We're going to make this a little trickier for you today.
So he called up. I remember.
Yeah.
I remember that question.
See,
I'm
I told you to remember it.
and now I remember him. And I don't have the answer. We got to figure out what documentation he has.
I can try to help remember the names, Brad. I can never try to help remember the cases.
All right. One last question before we go into social media.
Okay.
All right. Let's go to Sam in Los Angeles, California. Sam.
Oh, hi, Brad.
How are
you? I'm good. I recently started watching your show.
Thank you.
And I really appreciate it. That's really, really helpful for all the people. Yeah. So my question is, my asylum case is administratively closed, and my wife filed I-130 for me back in April 3, 2017.
Did you file an adjustment too?
No.
Why?
Because my asylum case is administratively closed. So.
How'd you come to the United States?
Because my attorney told me like we have to go separately I-130 and then we're gonna go with the court to file I-485.
Okay, so I would just make you got married after you were put in removal or before?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So that's why, because you need a bona fide marriage exemption.
Yeah. So what happened? Because they send us an RFE in April, and we responded in May 28th. And since today, I have no answer from them, and the case is in local office.
Yeah, Sam, welcome to America. Okay, in 2019, immigration works slower than the glaciers. It's frustrating to everybody. If it's taking too long, the only solution is you file a mandamus. But it's only May. It's not only May. It's been about 6-8 months now. Have you gone down to the local office?
No, because that local office doesn't do the info pass.
All right. Well, you have an attorney. Yeah. Your attorney needs to fight for you. They need to write a letter. They need to harass immigration officers, and they need to maybe even file a mandamus if necessary.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much.
Okay, hold on. All right. Belgium Kim.
Yeah.
We have to do something. And that is talk to. Nope, they put him on hold again.
We have to do something, and that is talk to.
Najib called, and then they put him on hold. I don't understand this call center today.
Oh, poor Najib.
Najib is waiting to speak to me, but they put Najib on hold.
But is Najib calling to speak to you?
Yes, now he's ready.
Now he's ready, baby.
Najib, how are you?
Good. How are you, Brad?
Good. What can I do to help you?
All right. So I had a problem back in 2017. The problem was with my wife. So here's the thing. At that time, she used to be my fiance. All right.
Right.
I had a problem with her, so I broke her phone, and then her friends called the police for me. I got arrested, and then my case was dismissed, and everything was fine. My problem was property damage. All right. And after that, we got married, and we're having like a happy life and everything.
Good.
Now I decided to adjust my status because I'm with the F1 visa in here.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided to adjust my status. I'm wondering if
the case was dismissed against you?
Yeah, it was dismissed.
One-time offense, case dismissed. You're in a happy marriage with your spouse. You have to bring the disposition, but you should be fine.
All right, sounds good. Should they hire a lawyer? Or
yes, and you should hire me personally. That's my opinion. Hold on one second. All right, should you hire a lawyer? Yes.
Good call, Brad.
Good question. All right, Kim.
Yeah.
We haven't done this in 4 days.
4 whole days.
4 whole days.
Yeah.
It's backup. There's a huge backup now.
I don't know if I'm going to remember how, Brad.
What?
I don't know if I'm going to remember how.
Backup, Kim.
There's major backup.
Major backup.
What are we going to need to do?
Flooded. Flooded with questions.
We're going to need
something
to
we call social media checking.
Our first question is a two-parter from Marco, who said, so, I've got 2 questions. 1, how long does it take to invite you on ceremony for citizenship after passing the citizenship test?
It should generally, it could take forever, but assuming you passed everything, expect anywhere from 4 to 8 weeks.
Second, after you get your citizenship, I've got 3 cousins in Haiti as well as a fiance who overstayed his visa. Am I going to be able to apply or adjust their status, or can you not apply for so many people at once? How can I go about doing this?
You can't apply for cousins, so forget it.
Yep.
The fiance who overstayed the visa, is the fiance here or overstayed and went back home to Haiti? Because they overstayed and went back to home to Haiti, and it's been more than a year as an overstay. They can't come back for a decade without a waiver. If they overstayed their visa here, you just adjust their status. Don't worry about it.
Vanessa's got a question. Her husband's oath ceremony is on Friday, and she's wondering, when can she upgrade her I-130?
The day after he becomes a citizen.
So Saturday.
Saturday is the answer.
No, said, I was arrested for soliciting a prostitute 8 years ago, and I just got my green card through my wife. Is that going to affect me when I end up applying for citizenship?
Well, did you let immigration know that you were found guilty of that? Because then it won't affect your citizenship. But if immigration didn't know when you got your green card, and we're the first to find out, and then they find out when you become a citizen, then you lied.
Lucian Girl said, can child support affect immigration approval?
Can what?
Child support.
Of course it can. You don't support your children, how are you going to support another family member?
That's fair. That's fair, Brad. Ashoka said, does the processing time for marriage-based green cards change lately? What's the normal time? It feels like it's taking longer.
It is. It used to be 6 to 8 months. It's now 12 to 36 months, but generally 12 to 24 months.
Zoan, or Zone, I'm not sure, said, how long does it take to get your social and work permit, and how long is it going to take for you to get your interview once you have those in your hand?
5 months. See last question, 12 to 24 months.
I feel like see last question could easily be
Rewind,
an answer.
Yes.
Jamie said, does a mandamus, you mess me up when you answer them in the
Belgium
beginning.
Kim, I'm just reading that everybody thinks you're looking gorgeous today. All right. Even Tanisha McNabb says, wow, Belgium Kim, you look gorgeous. Love the look. Everybody loving Belgium Kim today.
Guys.
I don't know. What did you do today, Belgium Kim?
Literally nothing. I took
Belgium Kim, let's tell your beauty secrets, please.
Well, Brad, I have been putting gel in my hair. I swear to God, like old school blue, like gel. That's the whole difference.
That is it.
That's the entire difference. And then I let it dry.
Belgium Kim, I'm going to tell you something.
Yeah.
You're brilliant.
Thanks.
Brilliant.
There's your beauty tips with Belgium Kim.
Beauty tips from Belgium Kim.
Yes,
all right.
Queen.
Yes, Queen. All right, let's continue.
Joe said, do you know why USCIS is taking so long with mother filing an I-130? March will be 2 years since we applied. I don't know if mom is getting filed for or mom is the one filing.
If mom is filing for, you're on a waiting list because they only give a certain amount of visas per year. And it doesn't matter whether your I-130 gets approved today, last week, last year, or in 2 years from now. Your date is the same on the priority date waiting list, which is the date it was filed, so don't worry about it. If, on the other hand, the question was, I'm filing for my mother, why is it taking 2 years? See the guy at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue and ask him, because he's doing it. Do you know who that guy may be?
I know.
That's Melania's husband.
The orange man.
The orange man.
The husband of the woman who's doing so much philanthropical work for the children.
Yes.
That's right.
The male witch.
The warlock?
The warlock.
Would that be a warlock?
Yes.
We're very up on our fantasy terms.
That's correct.
We've got
the real Darth Vader.
Oh, God. That's why he wants to create a space force, because he's Darth Vader.
Yes.
But Julian, the TriCaster guy, is heading up our space force,
The Wicked Witch of the West.
Are you just thinking of good villains now?
No, the Wicked Witch of the West was bad.
Right. I mean, like good villains as in like solid movie villains?
Yeah.
Who's your favorite movie?
Lex Luthor.
That's a weird villain to pick.
Let's continue.
Okay. Dane James. Wow, that's like a rock star name. Dane James said, how long do you file after getting married?
See the earlier question from when the guy called Dane. Is this the same Dane? Dane called. Dane called from Queens.
Dane
and we said the next day, and you know what he said? Makes sense to me, Brad.
Makes sense to me, Brad. That's
right. Remember that?
Wait, but isn't Dane James like a solid rock star name? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage, Dane James.
No, it sounds more like a comedian.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
Sandra Davis said, my mom is a citizen and she wants to file for me, but I'm married. Is there any way that we could make it go faster? I'm the only child in Jamaica.
Find another way to get a green card. Do a job sponsorship. That's 18 months. But unfortunately, married children are going to be over 12, 15 years.
Jamie, asking about mandamus actions, said, just a quick follow-up. I left the States last June and was told by the officer everything was good and that I'd be contacted by courier service to receive my passport here, and now I am still here.
Are you a citizen? What passport?
Let me go back to his original question.
Is this a visa? Is this what is it that you're getting? I don't know what passport. Is this a visa in your passport? Who sponsored you?
It says
we need more information.
Does mandamus action apply to cases outside?
Yeah. Okay,
so we don't know.
More information.
Okay. Audrey said, why is it now taking 6 months to get a work permit after filing and not the 90 days anymore?
See the witch at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue.
Olarun would like to know, I'd like to know what questions they ask in an I-485 interview for married to an American citizen.
What's the bet? There's about 300.
Right. Okay. You
know some of them.
I do.
You're on the beat in the Bradified marriage.
I am on the Bradified marriage beat.
Okay. What side of the bed do you sleep on? What type of toothpaste do you use? What time do you wake up for work in the morning? How many locks on the front door of your home?
Right. Color of your welcome mat.
When was the last time you went out for dinner? Where did you eat?
What's your go-to restaurant?
What's the color of the couch in the living room?
How many TVs do you have?
How do you turn the heat on in your apartment or home?
What color are your sheets?
Let me see your keys. Do they match?
Ooh, really? Mm-hmm. Oh, that's a great one. We're going to do that one out in the field.
Yes.
Yeah, and check out all of our Bradified marriage segments. You'll see a whole bunch of questions and where people fail, because the devil is in the details.
Correct.
Man, oh man. Kingdom Mindset said, I have an MCH. I know what that is. A Master Calendar Hearing.
Correct.
That's right. I know my immigration. I have an MCH in March before immigration court. But my fiance and I would like to go ahead and get married. When would be the best time to get married? Before or after?
Now. You're in deportation. Go get married. Because you got to file an I-130, get a bona fide marriage exemption before you even get out of deportation. So you know when the best time to get married? Today. And by the way, that goes for everybody, unless you were just here for your first 90 days. But everybody who says if they've been here in the United States more than 90 days, when's the best time to get married? I'm in a real bona fide relationship. Do you know when the best time to get married? Today.
Right.
Why wait?
Right. Yesterday.
Correct.
You just missed a weekend, guys.
Correct.
Asmeen said, what if I've got my 10-year green card and I got it the last time, and last time for me to apply for my citizenship, could I go ahead and apply without the green card? So it sounds like it's time to renew.
Lost green card, you can apply for your citizenship.
Right.
How's that for an answer?
That's perfect. What about expired green card?
Expired green card, apply for your citizenship. Don't worry about it.
Like a used car.
That's right.
Expired green card, no green card.
No green card, it doesn't matter. You just apply for your citizenship. We got the form. All right, continue.
Nikki Thompson said, I went to America in 2001. The only problem was that I was there illegally. My father filed an I-130 petition, and I realized I would be denied because I came without inspection, so I went home on my own. It's been 10 years now, and my case is still open. What do I do now that it's been 10 years since I've been home?
Well, get your visa appointment. You don't have a 10-year bar as long as there's no misrepresentation, and prove that you were outside the United States for more than 10 years.
Grandma would like to kindly remind you not to shout, as she would like for you to keep your voice for more than one day. There you go. Surely there's a happy medium. Surely. See, for the people who are trying to figure out what this show is, they'll never know.
I'll be like the miming lawyer.
And you're scared of mimes, so that would be so weird.
You know how to, did we do this once before?
We have done this once before. You want me to?
Yeah. What do you do?
You're terrible, man.
You
have wheels on you, man.
I know. All right, let's go. Finish up.
Garnett said, I'm a green card holder. What is the process of filing for a person that overstayed their marriage overstayed their time after the marriage?
File an I-130. I got my head cut off there. File an I-130, and then if you become a citizen, adjust here. If not, do a provisional waiver, go home and come back.
Glamma is asking for a friend. Her friend is in a relationship with an American citizen for over 4 years now. They're engaged, they're living together, and they have a small business going. He's extremely abusive to the point where they had a fight and he broke her hand.
Oh my God, it sounded like such a wonderful marriage.
It did.
And then it just turned.
I know, it's like, oh, they're
having a great time. They have a business. I'm like, oh, this is lovely. And then all of a sudden it just turned.
He's breaking her hand.
Yeah.
Wow, okay. Yeah, you never know. She did not report this because he threatened to get her sent home. So she's got numerous recordings of him threatening her.
File a VAWA application. Don't let him scare you. And get out of the marriage and say adios.
There it is, Grandma. Maud said the waiver for the 601I, who needs to show hardship, the U.S. citizen or the foreigner?
U.S. citizen.
Diana said, my friend's husband was deported 16 years ago and someone pointed him out saying he just bought coke from him and they arrested him. Could he come back to America based on that charge?
If he has a drug conviction, no.
Monique said, hey Brad, any updates on VAWA now that the shutdown is over?
When is the government funded till?
February 8th, I believe.
It's VAWA's on till February 8th.
Oh my God. Don't wait. Isha said, if someone's spouse has been married twice but divorced and now they want to marry me, is that going to be any problem if he gets married again and applies for his new spouse, which would be me?
No, you can be married, unmarried, married, unmarried. Elizabeth Taylor was very famous for getting married 8 times, twice to the same person, and she claimed to be in love with them all.
That's true. Sometimes you
How many times have you been in love, Belgium Kim?
I'm not comfortable answering that question, Brad. No, like twice. Twice. How many times have you been in love, Brad?
One time, Belgium Kim.
One time?
Yes.
Who with?
Myself.
Oh, that was beautiful. As RuPaul famously says,
what?
If you don't love yourself, how the hell you gonna love anybody else? Can I get an amen?
Amen.
There it is.
I agree. Oh, I just heard my voice.
No.
But yes, I agree with you. You got to love yourself first before you love
Absolutely.
anybody
That's
else.
beautiful. I wish I'd said that answer. That was
Yes.
better. Less tricky. Belka Sen said, my wife has a green card for 2 years after we got married. She just applied for the renewal 2 weeks ago, and she did not receive an extension letter from there. What does that mean?
What was she doing?
She applied for her renewal, and she did not receive an extension letter.
Renewal of what?
It just says my wife's got a green card for 2 years.
Oh, she got. Oh, okay. So she applied to remove the conditions.
For the 10-year, I'm assuming. Yeah.
Okay. So how long has it been? If it's been more than a month, then go down to immigration, get a stamp in the passport.
Oh, it's just been 2 weeks.
Oh, wait a month.
Change name on YouTube said, my sister filed for an adjustment of status and she received letters weeks after showing they're in receipt of the application. She received letters for the I-485, the I-765, and the I-131, but not for the I-130. Is that going to be a problem?
No, you're good. Don't worry.
Curly Girl Shauna said, if you don't have a social security number, how can someone file for you?
File what?
It says, okay, Brad, so if you don't have a social security number, you're supposed...
Are you talking about a tax return, maybe?
I'm wondering maybe a tax return.
Okay, if you don't, you file a joint tax return, you attach a W-7 form onto that tax return. The W-7 requests a tax identification number. You use that number in lieu of a social security number until you get your social security number. When you get your social security number, you're going to write the IRS and your local state tax department and say, here's my social security number. Please substitute that for my temporary tax identification number.
We've got a question from Cordella who said, if a person doesn't have their work permit and social, can they do a business? Could they apply for a tax number for that business without any problem?
Yes.
Tamor said, I'd like to know if there's any other procedure to take in trying to get a green card without getting married to a U.S. citizen. I'd also like to know if I have a social security number from my previous H-2B program and a state ID, could I use that to get a job? And is it safe to do while trying to figure it out?
All right.
Yeah.
So here's a couple things.
Okay,
number one, if you work, you have to pay taxes. And you have a valid social security number to pay your taxes. So the answer is yes, you can work and pay your taxes. You would be working out of status. If you use your state ID and your social security card to go get a job, then what you are saying is you are lying on the I-9 application, because that's what you would have to fill out, by saying you're either a lawful resident or even a citizen. If you claim a citizenship, you've now committed a crime punishable by several years in jail. So my answer to you is you can work if somebody wants to hire you and they want to withhold your taxes and pay your taxes, but you're working illegally. But please don't use your state ID and social security number to go try to find a job and claim residence or citizenship when you're not. How's that?
That was pretty thorough, that was. That was very thorough.
And then how do you get a green card other than marriage? It's called 1-800-529-5465. Can I have a consultation with Brad, please?
What a great way to do it. That sounds so easy.
Yes, thank you. I don't know if I have an answer for you, but that's what it would be.
Worth a shot finding out.
Worth a shot.
John Cena said, I've got an I-360 for SIDGE filed, but I'm going to apply for my green card through marriage. Would I be able to sponsor my parents through that?
Yes, as long he got a green card through SIDGE?
He said he's got an I-360 for SIDGE filed, but he's going to apply for his green card through marriage.
As long as he didn't get the green card through SIDGE, he could apply for his parents.
So he's got to remove his application for SIDGE first?
Yes.
Withdraw it,
file through the marriage, and then ultimately when he becomes a citizen, he can file for his parents.
Got it.
Because the SIDGE is that they were bad parents, so they're not going to...
Right, so they're not, you can't, right.
You're like, yeah. So they're
I mean,
I love your. It's just like, yeah. So you're right. They were.
I mean, I got it, but there's nothing else I could add that would be more than what you
that
just
made
said.
me laugh when I heard it. You were just making noises. You just made noises. That was it.
Why do you call me out?
I'm sorry. Just
Stuff
made me
like
laugh.
that. Just let it lie, Brad. Just let it lie.
I'm sorry.
Brianna Burr said, I filed for my mom from Jamaica. Can she put in papers for her children back home who are over 21?
If she got a green card, yeah.
Ken Kibbett said, how would a father go about child custody as I'm waiting for my VAWA through abuse to go through?
You go to family court.
Olu Ratimi said, if somebody has a 3C record, can he become a citizen?
A 3C record?
Nothing?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing's popping in my head on 3C record.
Listen, I had nothing. I thoroughly hoped you would have something,
Yes.
but no.
Yeah. I mean, if you have a platinum record, yes. Platinum selling record, yes.
What is a platinum selling?
I think like 1 million sales of songs. It's now records. It's not downloads.
Oh, like, okay. That's the whole. Okay.
It's the only thing that popped in my head.
Perfect.
Nobody says I'm funny all the time. All right. Jonathan Yo-Yo Elias.
Yes.
He's not here today, by the way. But the ghost of Jonathan Yo-Yo Elias went out on the street to play another edition of Who Invented It? American Born or Immigrant? Let's watch how people did and play along at home, and let's test our knowledge.
What's good, Brad Squad? It's your boy, Jonathan Elias, in the streets of Manhattan, and we are about to play Who Invented It? So we're going to ask some unsuspecting passerbys, test their knowledge. Might as well actually test your knowledge, too. Play along with us, all right? Now, let's go. Donuts. You guys like donuts?
Oh, yeah, of
Okay.
course.
So do you think it was an American-born citizen that created donuts or an immigrant?
I'd say probably an immigrant.
Donuts.
American? They seem really American.
As an immigrant?
Native-born citizen.
Immigrants.
I'd say American-born because back when everybody invented like the cop stigmatism, why donuts were there, it was because people wanted cops at their businesses, so they would make donuts because cops loved them, so the cops would stay around longer if they had donuts to eat, so their shops wouldn't get robbed.
Donuts were originated as a Dutch treat called oil cakes in the 18th century, but made popular by a Russian immigrant named Adolf Levitt. Do you play video games?
Yes, a lot.
Who created video games? American-born citizen or an immigrant?
An immigrant.
American.
So have you guys played video games before?
Lots.
Okay.
I used to work for one of the biggest video game companies.
Ooh, so maybe you should know this. Do you think it was an American-born citizen or an immigrant that created video games?
Immigrant.
I'd say immigrant.
Immigrants.
I'd say an immigrant.
Good job.
I would imagine Japanese or Chinese because that's where Atari started from. So maybe I'm in the right ballpark. I don't know.
Germany.
Okay.
Video games were invented by a German immigrant named Ralph Baer, who is named the father of video games in the late 60s. Have you ever played with a Frisbee before?
No, I haven't.
Never played with a Frisbee. Ever?
No.
But you know what a Frisbee is?
No, I don't.
A Frisbee is a contraption where you throw it like this and you catch it. Do you think an American-born citizen created a Frisbee or an immigrant?
I don't know, but I guess it's an American.
Maybe immigrant.
Have you ever played with a Frisbee before?
I have, yes.
Okay. So now, do you think it was an American-born citizen or an immigrant that created the Frisbee?
American.
It's pretty boring and a basic way of fun. I feel like Americans definitely invented that. It's pretty boring.
I'd say American.
American. I mean, I know it came from the Frisbee Pie Company was where they got that.
Frisbees were invented by an American-born citizen, Walter Frederick, who actually was playing with a popcorn lid with his girlfriend, who he later married in 1937. Waffle cone. waffle cone? American born or an immigrant?
Immigrant.
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 Yeah, I will guess American this time.
American.
An immigrant.
We've been eating ice cream on the go since 1904. Ernest Hemingway, a Syrian immigrant, created the waffle cones. Your hair, first of all, is real fly. I love the color.
Oh la la.
You don't have too much hair on your head.
I just shaved my head. I had long hair, so that's why I actually hate my haircut right now because I think it looked better bald. I had never shaved it, but I cut it all off to see how it would regrow.
And what you think?
This is not how I want it to be.
You use a blow dryer for your hair.
I do, yeah.
Okay. Do you think it was invented by an American-born citizen or an immigrant?
American born. Try it. Maybe immigrant.
I'll say American.
Ooh, blow dryer. I'll say immigrant.
Immigrant.
Do you ever use a blow dryer?
Yes, sometimes.
Okay, so do you know if it was created by an American-born citizen or an immigrant?
I really don't know this, but I guess it's a French innovation.
I like that you actually gave me a region, but it is an immigrant, not from France. It is an immigrant from Armenia. The blow dryer, created by an Armenian immigrant named Gabriel Kajanjan, so you can thank your blowout to him. English muffin, American-born or an immigrant?
That's English thing, right?
I ain't saying.
I guess that's English.
Immigrant. Immigrant.
English muffin.
Come on, now that's a trick question. I'll say immigrant. Stick with my gut.
Stick with your gut. Where the English muffin usually goes, in that gut.
Immigrant.
Immigrant.
There you go. Of course, English muffin, UK. So good job. Samuel Bath Thomas, which is an immigrant from the UK, created the English muffin. He actually moved to New York in 1874, had his own bakery in Chelsea, then created what is now known the English muffin. Back then, toaster crumpets. Do you know what Kevlar is?
Kevlar, the
bulletproof
yes. Stuff, yeah.
American-born or an immigrant?
American-born.
I remember I watched a TV show about this. I guess that's a Russian who invented this. So I guess that's an immigrant innovation.
I'll say immigrant. No, that's such an American thing. That's American.
I'll say American.
American.
Good job. Listen, you guys are a smart little duo here. It was American-born from Polish immigrants. So, do you know if it was a man or a woman?
Ooh, Kevlar. You would think man, but I'll say woman.
I would be guessing when I said woman, but yeah.
The women rule. Yes, though it was a woman that created Kevlar. That's pretty awesome. The super strong Kevlar fiber was created by an American-born citizen to Polish immigrants. Her name was Stephanie Kwolek. Now, last but not least, the gas mask. American-born or an immigrant?
I'd say immigrant. I think English maybe. Immigrant.
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 I don't know.
American-born. The gas mask was created by an American-born citizen, actually from Kentucky, Garrett Augustus Morgan Sr. He actually used the gas mask in 1916 to save several men that were trapped in a tunnel after an explosion. All right, there you guys have it, Brad Squad. That was a fun game of Who Invented It. I had a blast doing it because I learned about a lot of things, and I hope that you guys did too. All right, back to the studio. Whew.
All right, the ghost of Jonathan Yo-Yo Elias. Hopefully he will be back soon. He's not dead. He's alive somewhere. We just don't know where. In the meantime, Belgium Kim, we have a bunch more social media questions. Let's finish them up quickly.
Always. We've got a question from Shine, who said a person filed an I-751 in 2016, did the interview early in 2018, but they haven't heard anything since. And right after the interview, the other spouse wrote USCIS and said that the marriage wasn't real. Should that person have their attorney start harassing USCIS 1 year later?
I think you have a big problem. You need more than attorney harassment.
Yeah. Maybe a solid attorney.
Yes. Solid attorney.
Solid attorney. If only we knew where you could find one of those. That one, right there. Sammy wants to know, how long does it take to swear in after the N400
4
interview?
to 8 weeks.
Quick on the trigger
On
today.
the trigger.
Najib said, it's me, Najib, again.
Hi, Najib.
Should I mention my arrest on the I-485?
Yes, don't lie. It won't prevent you. Is that who was that was the domestic abuse?
Broke the phone.
Right, broke the phone.
Yep. Eve said, good evening. How long does it take for a U.S. citizen to file for his sister who is in Jamaica?
About 15 years.
Oh, start now. Randall said, having an emergency, I have an emergency advance parole. Is it safe to travel?
Emergency advance parole?
Emergency advance parole.
Emergency advance parole.
Emergency advance
It is
parole.
safe to travel. By the way, Rich Kid C says, who invented the Brad show? Brad and Jill.
That's a great, yes.
Brad and Jill.
That's a stone cold fact.
Right.
That is a true reporting of the
Brad
facts.
show, Brad and Jill, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
2 American-born citizens.
Two American-born citizens, right.
Yep. We've got a question from James Harris, who said, my green card was approved about a month ago. I then went on USCIS's website to pay my immigrant visa fee. How long does it normally take to actually get the green card after I've entered the U.S.?
Oh, about 8 weeks.
Tamakisa said, I'm filing the I-130 in the state and I-130 outside the state. Which one runs fast?
In the state, out state?
It sounds like they filed 2 I-130s.
Where?
One within the states and one outside of the states. I would say outside of the U.S. By the state, I'm going to go the United States.
It's all filed in the same office, no matter where you are in the world. So
right. It's not going to matter.
Not mattering.
Melissa said, hey, Kim and Brad. Hey, Melissa. Would it be an issue traveling to Canada with my passport having my maiden name, but my green card has my married name? Do I need to renew my passport to my married name?
Just bring, you should, but bring your marriage certificate.
Zoanne said, when I filed the I-130 for my daughter who's in Jamaica, can I get a visiting visa for her until she gets her interview?
You can try, but she will not get one. By the way, Lisa Bling Rose.
Yeah.
Disagreeing with my assessment of who invented Bradshaw Live.
Oh, who does she say?
She says it's the squad. They were not the inventors, but they certainly added a lot of ingredients to the show.
They are the reason Bradshaw Live still exists,
Correct.
for sure.
Correct. You know, it's like the waffle cone. Okay? Somebody invented the waffle cone, but they wouldn't exist if there was no ice cream. Right? Nobody would think anything of the waffle cone,
right,
but for the fact that there was ice cream.
Or a waffle, for that matter.
Well, no, but I mean, you have a waffle cone.
Right.
You need something to put in the cone.
Right.
That's the squad.
100%.
Right.
You are
understand
the ice
what I'm
cream
saying?
to our waffle cone.
Correct. Correct.
That's a pretty beautiful. I want that cross stitched
like
on a pillow.
You like that?
Brad Squad. The ice cream to our waffle
Put that on the merch list. Bradshaw Live waffle cones. Frozen. We will send them frozen all over.
It's such a random thing.
Yes, that'd be great.
For your Bradshaw Live ice cream party.
Yes, that would be great. Branded waffle codes.
Branded. We have such normal things we could put our logo on.
We got to get our merch together. Our merch store.
You want to put our logo on stuff?
Yeah,
all right, let's do it then. Lexi and Tringo said, what are the rules of a spouse obtaining a 10-year green card under an F2A category? We've been married since July of 2016. The priority date is October of 2016. Would they be eligible to obtain a 10-year green card since the petitioner is a green card holder?
You would get a 10-year green card. The only time you get a 2-year green card is through marriage to a U.S. citizen. So even if an F2A case took 6 months,
Mhm.
you would still get a 10-year green card. Only to marriage to U.S. citizens.
You learn something new every day. Taylor said, hey Brad, how long does it take for my mom to get here from Jamaica? I'm a citizen of the U.S.
Was about 3-hour flight or so, 3.5-hour flight. I
But
assume. If she wants to
if we're
file,
filing for mom.
about 12 to 18 months.
Sandra said, how could I get a job to actually sponsor me?
Ask.
That seems pretty simple. Curly Girl Shauna said, what about what kind of questions they ask on a VAWA interview? What can I expect?
They're going to want to know about the abuse. They're going to want to know about your relationship with your spouse and prove it was real. Everything that's in your application.
Everything that's
They're
in
going to
your...
want to hear it from you.
Get ready. Jamie had a follow-up regarding the mandamus, right? So Jamie left the States last June and was told by the officer everything's fine, was waiting to get his passport from a courier service, still has heard nothing since June. He has now followed up and said that his mom was filing for him. Why is his passport with immigration?
No, you would give your passport to the U.S. Embassy.
Right.
And they never gave it back to him.
Okay.
It would not be a mandamus.
Okay.
It would be a call Brad, let Brad call the embassy and see what the problem is.
Right.
That's what needs to happen.
Jamie, we gotta find out where your passport is.
And then if there's no response and there's no rational reason, then we do a mandamus.
Jessica Kalimi says.
Jessica Kalimi.
Your fave, I know.
Yes.
By
the way, it's just call me.
What?
It's just call me.
It's just call me?
It's just call me.
Wow, Brad, I had no idea.
Yeah. I figured it out a long time ago. I just didn't really. I just didn't really want to tell you.
Thank you so much for clarifying that for me.
Call me.
God, thank God you're here, man.
Yeah. I mean, when people say I got the answers, I got all the answers, Belgium Kim.
I don't know how I would figure out our viewers' pronunciation of their names were it not for you.
Belgium Kim. You don't even say, you should be Belgian Kim. You don't even have it right, okay? So, I mean,
that's true. I can't even name myself properly.
His name's correct.
Jessica Kalief.
It's just call me.
Just call me. I'm so sorry. Just call me.
Mm-hmm.
Just call me Joelle. Mm-hmm. Said her friend filed for her VAWA case in July. She did her biometric.
It's Jolie, by the way, Belgium Kim.
It's Joelle.
It's Jolie. It's just call me Jolie.
Just call me Jolie.
Like
Jolie. Angelina Jolie.
Correct.
Jolie.
That's exactly what her name is. Let's continue, Belgium Kim.
Perfect. Thanks, Brad.
Yes.
My friend filed for her VAWA in July, did her biometrics in September, still does not have a work permit. Is this normal? And if so, when can she expect it?
It's about 5 months if you did it right.
So September, October, November, December, January, February. Should be coming up.
Correct.
It's cool. My math is on lock. We've got a question from Suzia, who said, my dad is a U.S. citizen who filed for me in 2016. However, I'm currently in the States on an H-2B visa. Is that going to make a difference? I'm going to be 35 in June.
Well, it would only make a difference if you still maintain status when the priority date becomes current, but it's going to be a few more years.
Derek Untouchable said, my cousin went to an interview with her husband and they forced him to sign something saying it was fraud. And she didn't know until she got denied, and they say it's fraud because he signed this. She divorced him, and her daughter, who is a U.S. citizen, has decided to file for her, but she's gotten denied again because of that previous marriage.
Correct.
What can she do now?
Prove that the husband's a liar and it was a real marriage. It's a big burden, but if it was a real marriage, you can do it.
Okay.
If it was a fraud marriage, you're screwed.
Don Del VR said, I'm a U.S. citizen and went to file for my parents. Do I fill out the I-130 and also the I-130A? And if I do, what is actually the difference between those two forms?
Different questions. The I-130A is more about your background biographic data. It replaces the G325A.
But you need both the I-130 and the I-130A?
If you're doing it here.
Glama said that she said that her friends are not married. She wants to know if her status can be adjusted. Hold on. We'll go back to Glama's question. Glama, I promise I will go back to your question. Donette said, when going to the adjustment of status interview and the letter indicates that you take the birth certificate of kids, is it okay to take a copy since the original is actually with the other child in Jamaica?
Say it again.
When doing the adjustment of status interview, the letter that indicates that you take the birth certificate of the children, Donette is wondering if that can actually be a copy instead of the original, since the original is with one of the other children in Jamaica.
You need original when you go for the interview.
Aha. Natasha said, I'm doing a VAWA, but I only have one police report. Is that enough? I'm really scared about my case.
If it was abuse, it was abuse.
Right.
All right. Abuse one time is abuse. That's it.
That's fair. Lisa Walker said, do I need to have a passport picture when removing the conditions?
No.
We've got a question from Changed Name who said, my mom became a citizen early 2020 and her unmarried son is 28-year-old, lives overseas. Can she file for him, and how long will it take if she can?
She's what?
Mom is going to become a citizen next year. Son is unmarried and 28 years old.
It's going to take 6-7 years. Start
now. Paulette said, my daughter filed for me and she filed for my husband. We were married before she reached 18. He lived out of the U.S. and she sent everything, all the papers from school, and she's been living here since 1999. She's also sent a letter showing how she came to the U.S., but he's still getting the runaround. I got my green card 4 years ago this year. What could be going on with his filing?
Who is this?
So daughter filed for basically her stepdad. She filed for her stepdad. She filed for mom and mom's husband.
Right.
And mom got her green card 4 years ago, and
stepdad didn't.
Stepdad is still getting the runaround.
I don't know what the problem is, but we can get to the bottom of it.
Right.
How would I know?
This
Magic 8 Ball. Why is there a runaround?
Why is there a runaround?
Why is there a runaround, Magic 8 Ball?
Laddie Sweetheart said, what if my green card holder husband filed for me and he did not pass a citizen test? Would I be in trouble, and would I get the work permit and the travel docs even though he did not pass his test?
You have nothing to do with your husband becoming a citizen. It doesn't affect your green card, except if he's not a citizen, you can't adjust your status here. You would have to do a provisional waiver, go home, and come back.
Okay. We've got about 6 more questions, and then we'll
Go
be
ahead.
at the very end. Thanks, Brad. Kamel said, my friend is married to a U.S. citizen, and she came to the U.S. Her husband unfortunately died before he could file. Can she file for citizenship? It's been 4 years since she came, and her husband died about a year ago.
No, she has to wait 5.
But she's going to be able to file without
Yes.
him. Shar said, is there a backlog for citizens filing for children over 21?
Yes, 8 years.
So Glama had the question of saying that they're not married. She wants to know if her status can be adjusted. Her friend was in a relationship with an American citizen for over 4 years, and he's the one that broke her hand. They're not married, though, so she can't file for VAWA. Is there anything that she can do?
U-Visa.
Aha. Lovely Mimi said, would it be an issue to travel to Canada using... Oh, yes, Lovely Mimi, we did answer your question. Go back and check it out. Babar said, how long does the adjustment of status take on a B2 visa if someone's parents who are U.S. residents filed for the F2B preferences?
8 years, Babar. Isn't Babar an elephant?
Babar is an elephant. He's a French elephant.
A French elephant.
How did you know Babar?
I know Babar.
Huh?
Yeah.
He knows Babar, you guys. That's crazy. I was going to make that reference, and I was like, no, that is such my Belgian childhood thing. Cordella said, if a green card holder is filing for his spouse and the spouse has a business, does the spouse still have to file the I-601 to go home?
Yes.
Damien said, thanks for your help on everything, Brad. I need to know if 2 acts of moral turpitude can prevent you from getting citizenship.
Yes, it's also deportable.
1 act of moral turpitude is enough, right?
No, unless it could prevent you from becoming a citizen, yeah.
Oh, wow, see? Chica de Bia. I'm sorry. I'm certain I butchered that, and I'm really sorry. Michael Benjamin. I can Slay that. Brad, can I please renew my green card on my conditional green card? How long am I going to have to wait for my green card?
Can I renew my conditional green card on my conditional green card? How long will I have to wait for my conditional green card?
Do you want me to, I'll read this for me.
The answer is you can renew,
See?
you get an extension for 18 months and you will get your permanent green card.
You already did. And
There
our
it
final
is.
question.
Oh.
Sorry, Christina, she slid one in there.
Okay.
Our final question from Christina said, my friend came to the U.S. To visit for the first time, and she met a guy, and she married him 2 months later and filed shortly after. Is she going to have any consequences, Brad?
As long as she got married after 90 days,
She did not. She got married 2 months.
After she came here?
After she came.
Consequences, misrepresentation, big problem, come see a lawyer.
Okay.
Is that it?
That's all we got.
All right. So, Tony Peralta.
Yes.
He is a first-generation Dominican-American contemporary artist and graphic designer. He spoke to us recently about his Peralta project, which is a lifestyle brand and his parents' immigration story. Let's check it out.
What's good, Brad Squad? It's your boy, Jonathan Elias, and today I'll be talking to the great Tony Peralta at his own shop, Taller Peralta in Uptown Manhattan. You guys might remember when I spoke to him at Citi Field for the Dominican Heritage Night, but today we're getting up close and personal with him, all right? So we're gonna check out some of his signature work, his hats, t-shirts, sweatshirts, paintings, and much more. We're also gonna talk to him about his family's immigration story and what it's like to keep the Dominican and New York culture alive through his artwork. Let's go talk to him.
Mr. Tony, what's up, man?
What's up? How's it going?
Hey, it's good to see you again.
Likewise.
First of all, your shop is dope as heck.
Thank you.
Your shirts, your sweaters, your paintings and all that, it's real dope. You're a contemporary artist, right? So what made you even go down this path and like what made you actually want to be an artist?
I mean, I've been drawing all my life. Drawing, in art is one of those things that it was the only thing I was good at when I was younger. In school, I wasn't always the best student. I figured out later in life that I was a visual learner. Classes like math and science, I didn't really do that well. I was always in an art program from elementary school to high school. After I graduated from college, I wanted to be a filmmaker. I couldn't find a PA job at that time. So after a year of trying to get that kind of work, I got this opportunity to work for this PR marketing company that worked with urban brands.
Wow.
So 1999, 2000, at the height of like FUBU, academics.
Definitely used to wear all of those.
All of that, you know what I'm saying? Like Sean John, 555 Soul. I got better as a graphic designer, and then being around all these brands, with hip hop and growing up in hip hop, has always been about hip hop and fashion. So I was like, I want to do this. And a few years later, I started a brand called the Peralta Project. Throughout the years, it just kind of starts to take off a lot more.
You're Dominican.
Yes.
All basically of your stuff has like the hip hop, urban type of feel. So how did you put those two together?
I do what I know. It's very simple. I was born in New York City. Both of my parents are Dominican. I grew up in Dominican culture as well as hip hop simultaneously. I grew up in the 80s, so besides my parents being new immigrants, there was also like the birth of hip hop happening. And hip hop was happening as I stepped outside. Like you step outside, you see the b-boys, you see the graph. The stuff that you see visually, you don't really see here anymore. I would go outside and I'll see like graph on the walls by graffiti crews. This was happening in Washington Heights. My memories are what inspires me. People a lot of times they ask me where your inspiration comes from, and it's just like, it's me thinking back at that time.
You just recently went back to DR.
Yeah.
For an amazing reason.
I went for the opening of this design biennial that I'm part of. It's in the Cultural Center of Spain, and it's in the capital in Santo Domingo. I was asked to be part of it, and it was great. It's an honor to be able to go and showcase my work, in my parents' homeland. Right. So that felt really great.
To some people, it might not be that big of a deal, but like to go back to your hometown, your homeland, and to show them like, look, this is what we're doing in the States.
For sure, because it's like, it's an opportunity for them to see what being a Dominican American looks like and how I interpret being Dominican.
Right.
So that was really cool. The exhibit dealt with designers, from like clothing designers and people who make like products and even architects.
Oh, wow.
So, you know, I was in really good company.
I do want to talk about your immigration story and how your parents came here, why they came here, when they did.
My parents met here. They both grew up poor. But it's interesting because even though they were poor, they owned the land.
My grandmother had no education.
Yeah.
She had 6 kids, one on the way. They had land, so she just rented it out. So it wasn't like they were rich, but land is...
It's very important.
Yeah.
My mother was already married at that time, and you know, you get married and you go live with the husband's family. They were so poor that her mother had to come and bring her food. Eventually my mom, she asked her father for permission if she could leave to Puerto Rico to come to the United States. My father grew up really poor in this little small house with like, I think it was like 6 brothers and sisters. They all came here to find a better life.
So how does that make you feel to not only represent for your culture, but to actually make them happy and to show them all the sacrifice that they made to come to the States was, you know,
I mean, it makes me feel good. I realized that later on. I started to really make sense of like my parents and the sacrifices that they made coming here. But not only that, but just the risks.
Yeah.
You know, and it's interesting because, you know, when you grew up in an immigrant culture, your family here in the United States, they teach you not to take risks. It's like, no, you got to get a job, and it's like, and you should be happy and grateful for it and all that stuff. But then it's just like, but y'all came here without speaking the language, not knowing anybody. I feel like now being an entrepreneur, I'm honoring them by taking the risk of opening up a shop and doing the stuff that I do. My mom has always been proud of like what I did. All she told me is like, yo, you gotta work or go to school. My father, you know, owned a grocery store here.
Wow.
Yeah. So they both have that entrepreneurial spirit.
You opening your shop here, because I'm sure you could have opened it anywhere. What made you open it here, and how has that helped you still being in touch with the deep culture?
I never thought I was gonna be able to open up a shop here. Wow. Because you know, we're in the process of gentrification.
Yeah.
The real estate up here is pretty expensive. I was actually planning on moving to the West Coast. Saw this space, looked into how much the rent was, and you know, I was like, okay, I think I could afford that. And it's been great, man. It's been a game changer for me.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's been a game changer. Yeah.
On that. Do you feel like, you know, because your family moved out here for you and your future, do you feel like because of that you're living your American dream?
I'm living my dream.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's the dream of being creative and being able to make a living off of that, you know, and I'm just very grateful that I'm able to do this every day. I get messaged all the time about being an inspiration.
You are amazing. Thank you so much, man.
Oh, you're welcome.
Amazing.
Man. Thank you.
So you know I'm about to cop some stuff.
I know that.
All right. Well, there you guys have it. We got up close and personal with the great Tony Peralta. We got to see some of his artwork, but then also listen to his story, which is so inspirational. You guys definitely have to come up here and cop some of his stuff, all right? Peace.
All right, so the good news is, Belgium Kid just told me right before we came back from Jonathan Yo-Yo Elias, I am so psyched for tomorrow. It's hump day. We are all set. So please make sure you tune in tomorrow. It's hump day on Bradshaw Live. And before we say goodbye, Belgium Kim has a few comments of the day.
All right. I was not ready to already be back. Hello. We've got one comment from Ken Kibbett on YouTube who said, Brad the Godfather and Kimmy the show, hype man, love the show, ready to hear the news that y'all have for us. Squad up.
Wow.
I love being the hype man of the show.
The hype?
The hype man.
I'm the Godfather.
You're the Godfather.
I'm
and
the Marlon
hype...
Brando of the show.
That's right. And I'm the Flavor Flav of the show.
I like it.
I'm going to start rocking the clock.
Right.
Abigail Taylor Watson said, I know this voice. Ricardo, every week you call. Why not just hire Brad to do it right?
Exactly.
So true. It's so true.
Exactly.
Nicola Kramer, after a long series of quite interesting calls today, said, Brad, you have patience like Job in the Bible.
For today, yes, I did.
You do?
For today,
indeed.
I did, yes.
Rich Kid C has advice for all of our callers who ever participate in Bradshaw Live. Callers, when you call Brad, you finish your question and then please listen.
Amen. Amen.
Amen. Our
Yes.
viewers are preaching
Yes.
today. We've got another one from Carol, the Top Cat Tigress 2 Anderson, who said, that's what Brad does best, helping people to get their American dream. This is amazing, Brad. I love this story about Tracy.
Okay, very nice.
Yes, we
I
love
like
that.
The comments of the day seem to be getting more and more.
Listen, sometimes our people got good stuff.
Yes, okay.
We have quite the poet laureates.
Yes.
And then finally, we've got James Harris, who has we love new descriptions of our
Yes.
show. The most influential show in the modern world.
Wow, that is going. that is a very, 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 very tall honor to have.
Thinking next to Oprah?
I mean, think about all the shows in the modern world.
Yeah. Goodbye, Oprah.
Wow.
Goodbye, 60 Minutes. Goodbye, 2020.
Oh my
Dateline.
God. There's a lot of pressure.
Law and Order
there's
SVU.
There's a lot of pressure on me now. America's Got Talent. I mean,
Breaking Bad. Game of Thrones.
Yeah. I mean, wow.
Fiction and nonfiction. He didn't specify.
Wow.
Most influential show in the modern world.
All right, there it is. We'll see you tomorrow. So, Sam, as part of the production, we have to say this disclaimer at the end of the show. Do you mind reading it for me?
Okay, but you know, Brad, I have to do everything around here. It's bad enough I've got to remember everything that happened on the episode from the previous day.
Forget it. I'll do it. The proceeding was information only and not specific legal advice. Consult an attorney about your individual situation. Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. To make an appointment with the Spar and Bernstein law firm located at 225 Broadway in New York City, call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Easy to remember, 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-LAWLINK. Once again, make a call to 1-800-529-5465. And of course, link up with the law offices of Spar and Bernstein, located at 225 Broadway on the 5th floor. If I were you out there, make the call, make the link, make the connection, make it Spar and Bernstein. 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-529-5465. And now, conveniently located in Hartford, Connecticut on 1 Congress Street. Visit us in Connecticut or in New York at 225 Broadway. That's 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-LAWLINK. 1-800-529-5465.